Sometimes it's good to just dance.
Welcome to the Good Stuff Family Podcast. I'm Dawn Kendrick, and I am so glad you're here. These are stories from the perspective of a news reporter on a next-level assignment. Everyone has a story. Stories of hope, resilience, and how we believe God weaves people, relationships, opportunities, all of it for good. For many of us, faith leads our steps, others not so much. But that is what makes this growing Good Stuff family great. We know the journey is better together. Welcome to the family.
Well, I got a suggestion. Sometimes it's good to just dance. Come along.
Today is RCDP Awareness Day and the official day to honor Rhizokids and their families. Well, the Good Stuff family celebrates them every day. Why? Because they remind us hope is everything. This rare and terminal disorder affects 1 in every 100,000 live births worldwide, and a 5-year-old child is considered a long-term survivor. But within the diagnosis and treatment is an unwavering hope towards work for a cure. And in this podcast, you're going to meet baby Lakelynn, just diagnosed. She's the most recent diagnosed, this sweet little baby at just 5 months old. The most recent diagnosed Rhizokid, and Jake and Jordyn Cirner, who, oh my gosh, I love them so much, are beating all the odds, all those odds that doctors predicted. They're here to say, you were wrong, you're wrong. And Jakester, in fact, is about to turn 23 when 5 years old was supposed to be long-term survivor. Doctors told his parents he wouldn't see 5. So this is why I'm so thrilled to be able to interview Mindy Lee, who's my good friend, but also Grandma Cindy, Lakelynn's grandma. I'm going to bring her in now. So we have these. Oh, Mindy, you might want to pivot let's see if we can pull this up. There we go. Sorry, I got you. There we go. Yeah. So Grandma Cindy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yeah. And Mindy, I can't see you. I just see your awesome kids, which is typical because you are always having their back and putting them up front. So let's start if we can. So now we have this picture. It's very telling because we have Jake and Jordyn, long-term survivors, and we have recently diagnosed, only 5 months old, Lakelynn. So Mindy, would you get us started by, because you're the president also of Rhizokids Ohio, get us started by explaining what is RCDP?
I'm going to let Doug explain RCDP because he's like a doctor in this now. Daddy Doug.
Hi. RCDP is a rare genetic disorder. It's Rhizomelic Chondrodysplasia Punctata. It's a form of dwarfism, yet it's more than that. It's the kids are lacking plasmalogens, which affect their cell structures and their growth and development throughout the years. So it affects their bone structures, their mental awareness, mental capabilities, respiratory, and things like that. So it's a kind of very rare disorder. Autoimmune systems affected. Basically all their systems are affected, digestive systems. So.
Right. And I think maybe what I'm going to try to do right now is show how I met you guys was doing a story when I worked at Channel 3. So this story is several years old, but I think it gives a kind of a good window into just exactly what it is. So allow me, if you would, to share this screen really quickly. Let's see if this works. There we go. Let's see. You see it, Mindy Lee?
Yes.
Okay, let's just skip through this ad.
It also gives you a window into how far they've come.
Right. Sorry, the technical stuff here. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Can you hear it?
No.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. All right. Best laid plans. I'll try it again towards the end. But I saw it firsthand when I first met you that house exists. Like, this is a day-long, hourly journey that you're on with these kids, right? Mindy, give us kind of a window into what a day looks like for Jakey and Jordyn.
Well, it doesn't stop. It's 24/7 with these kids. They're total care. So, they don't talk, they don't walk. They can't feed themselves. They can't take their meds themselves. So they count on all that. They count on being suctioned throughout the day to help them breathe. We do breathing and vest treatments 3 to 4 times a day to keep their lungs clear. We're constantly giving meds, like if not every hour, every other hour. They're hooked up to feeding pumps. Jordyn just finished her feed before we went live here. She was hooked up to her feed all day long. She's getting a little break right now. She was laying on her couch a little bit to stretch out because she's got scoliosis and you have to give them breaks out of the chair. And they'll get hooked up to their feeds at night again at 7:30. They'll have maintenance again with their breathing and vest treatments in a little bit, like around 5 o'clock. And it just starts all over, never ending.
And I appreciate you giving us that window. And I think we can roll this story now. Let me present here to share screen. Here we go. Joy that comes from living in the moment, right here, right now, in gratitude, and then going above and beyond and making sure the world knows about RCDP and the beauty that's within Rhizokids as they spread awareness and work for a cure. When we first met Jake and Jordyn Cirner, Jake was 3, Jordyn a newborn. 12 years later, the road hasn't been easy.
Cataract surgery and stomach surgeries and back surgeries and arm surgeries.
Both born with RCDP, a rare genetic disorder. Shortened limbs, one of many complications. But 15-year-old Jake and 12-year-old Jordyn are beating the odds.
Any child that makes it to be 5 years old is considered a long-term survivor. I know there's a lot of moms out there who've lost their kids.
So every day around here is consumed with fighting that statistic.
All right, princess. It's that time again.
Breathing treatments 3 times a day for Jordyn to do what her own lungs can't.
Good night, Jake. They need to be hooked up and stay in our room because they have seizures every day.
So medically fragile, Jake and Jordyn rarely leave the house because of germs.
A cold could kill them.
A series of spaced out shots all day long.
Just like a hospital, we have these different syringes.
Meticulously ordered.
These are their feed bags.
Feedings every hour through a tube into Jordyn's stomach. It is so clear. These kids are the centerpiece of this home.
This is the therapy room in here, and the kids.
This is wonderful.
Isn't that amazing?
A network of Rhizokids across the country, their extended family.
This is our life. Jake and Jordyn are our hearts, and the Rhizokids, this is our life, and this is every day.
You found the J for Jordyn.
Therapist in and out every day.
Push, 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 push.
To those of you wondering if it's all worth it,
Absolutely.
They are fighters.
for those parents who get tired of the noise and chaos of childhood,
A lot of people take that for granted, like, oh, I wish my child would just be quiet, and Mindy would love to hear, I love you, one time out of her children's mouth, just once.
a mom who knows they're inside there. Inside a body that doesn't translate or take cues from their brains. But Jake and Jordyn's hearts are communicating in moments like this. They count. Jake and Jordyn Cirner's lives matter.
They do, absolutely. I want to advocate for not only Jake and Jordyn, but all the Rhizokids, all the families that are fighting the good fight for their kids.
The kids will melt your heart.
Jake and Jordyn's mom and Graham, a team of 2 in tandem, perfectly in sync warriors in the fight. Rhizokids are the direct recipients of that unwavering dedication, being loved like the real miracle gifts that they are.
We don't take any of that for granted. We thank God every day that they're long-term survivors. That was when
you were getting ready to have a fundraiser. And in fact, you'll be having another one coming up in October. So we'll talk about that too. But I want to bring in Cindy now, Grandma Cindy. Okay, so you see that story. And what is that for you? It's got to be inspiration for you, knowing, that baby Lakelynn, 5 months old, has been diagnosed.
It's inspiring, and just watching the day to day reminds me of so much of what my daughter Sierra does for Lakelynn every day. And it is, like I said, it's just inspiring to see, how well they're doing, and it gives me hope.
Hope is everything, right? You're figuring that out right now, aren't you, Grandma?
Absolutely. It's when we got the diagnosis, my husband called me to tell me, and I'd never heard of it. What was that? My daughter couldn't tell me because she was in shock, and so I looked it up. I was with my granddaughter at her dance, and I just couldn't believe it. And when I found out it was terminal, it is my worst fear. My worst fear.
I know, Graham.
I never thought this would happen to my family. It's always other people that these kind of things happen to. It's not going to happen to my family. It's the neighbor. It's a coworker. It's not going to happen, but it did. It did.
It did, but when you see Mindy, like I said, is not just their mama, but president of Rhizokids Ohio. When you see that network of families, what is that? That has to be encouraging for you.
It's very encouraging. I had a mom who just recently lost their daughter, and she reached out to me because she wanted to give my daughter Sierra some equipment that was helpful for her daughter. And it was so incredibly kind, and other people have given Sierra medical devices to use, and it's been absolutely amazing, the support. I had a mom reach out to me today to check on Lakelynn because she was admitted to the hospital, University of Iowa Hospital, on Thursday, and was life flighted there. But she reached out to me to see how Lakelynn was doing, and it really means a lot. All the support, it means everything.
And Lakelynn has been released today, right? She was in pneumonia,
Yes.
Is kind of common, but so praise God for that.
Absolutely, she was released about a month ago.
And Mindy knows.
About an hour ago, and
I knew what you meant. Yep,
well.
just recently, but before we went on, yeah.
Yes. So thank
Mindy,
you.
they know well about all these doctor appointments and emergencies. So you sent this picture. Give us a window.
I'm sorry, it was breaking up.
I was saying, what is this picture? What's happening here?
So about a month ago, Lakelynn started to have seizures. Sierra took her to the doctor, but they didn't seem too concerned. Well, later that night, Sierra just decided, something needs to be done, and called 911, and took her to the hospital, and she kept having seizures. But I think they have her on some good medicine right now, and it is helping the seizures. But on Easter, she did have one in front of me. And it's heartbreaking, not only to see my granddaughter suffering, but to see my daughter suffering too. It's unimaginable torture to see that. But her seizures are less. So again, thank you, Jesus. So yeah.
And Mindy, when you hear this mama here, I'm sorry, let's try that. When you hear grandma, I know you know so many families who they're not blood, but they're
Right.
families.
Right.
What is the hope that you have for Lakelynn's grandma and for the other families who are warrioring through?
What is the hope? I'm sorry. It's like,
Yeah, the hope that you have in having Rhizokids Ohio. I'm going to roll
and,
up the new webpage. Amazing.
I don't know what that is. So I think the hope, and I think just that there's like a promise for other families to see that, there are older kids and they are thriving, and it's not just, it's just not the diagnosis they're given, that you live every day and you take nothing for granted. And it makes you appreciate waking up in the morning and just having the kids, and just, they make you appreciate everything they teach you. That's why we named Jake and Jordyn's life lessons. They're teaching Doug and I like life's lessons. We're not teaching them, they're teaching us. So
And I know
I just hope it brings families hope, just seeing how far, like, there are older kids. And because I know when you have a baby, well, back when we had Jake and stuff, the internet was nothing like it was. It was 2002, and they weren't giving us any hope. There weren't a lot of kids living, and they were just basically saying, enjoy your time, because he's not going to make it to be 1 or 2 if you're lucky. And if he makes it to be 5, it'll be a long-term survivor, but that doesn't happen very often. And back then, statistically, it wasn't happening. So I just, that's one of the reasons why we do what we do with the fundraising, with today's days like today, raising awareness and just like blowing up the internet to get RCDP out there. For even, there could be a family that all of a sudden their child is diagnosed with RCDP, and now they have somewhere to turn. Back when Jake was born, we didn't really have much to turn to.
Yes. And I'm scrolling through these pictures here because I mean, look at when you see that, when you have days like this, right?
Yeah.
Look, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, look at her, Jordyn.
Yeah.
And again, certainly not something you would have scripted or could have scripted, but you go with it. This is Daddy Doug. So this was a hip injection, right? This is part of the routine for her, right?
Yes, close to every 3 months, she has to get Botox and cortisone injections because besides her scoliosis, she has her hip is out of place and they cannot do surgery on it. So it provides a little bit of relief to her, and whatever we can do to alleviate the pain, we do for her. So, and she's a trooper. She's just, both Jake and Jordyn and all the RHIZO families, all the RHIZO kids, they're warriors. They just warrior on, beyond, above and beyond. They just, and they're amazing. All the families are just amazing. And we're just, even though a lot of us are connected just by the internet, we have a RCDP group that the parents go on and ask questions, and it's just a lifeline to the families. Even me, as going through this for close to 23 years, I still learn things. Even though the kids aren't babies anymore, I'm still learning little hacks and neat things that we never know, And, Dawn, as we watched that video, I looked back at that video, and there was a lot of things that have changed, like besides him getting older and Jordyn getting older by the grace of God, and God's got his hand on our whole life every single day. He's just looking over us and he's just guiding our steps. But as I saw that video, I mean, things have changed. Like before, like Jordyn was getting bolus during the day, and now she needs continuous feeds because her stomach can't handle just the boluses anymore. So she's continuously fed because her stomach has slowed down. And then also in the video, she just had a neck brace on, and now she's on CPAP. She's on 1 liter of oxygen a night, but whatever they need to get the support and whatever they need to keep them thriving, Doug and I are going to do it. Those kids are our life. They're our world. And my mom is like a second mom to them. I mean, Dawn, we have such a huge support system with our doctors, our therapists that are in and out of the house, They're too medically fragile to go anywhere. So the kids were like schooled here with the PTOT speech and music. And even though COVID's over, they're still coming in with masks to keep them from, getting sick.
And the fundraiser that'll be coming up in October for our Ohio friends, they can go to RhizoKidsOhio.com. Dougie, you want to talk a little bit more about that, the research that is happening that provides hope and awareness is super important as well.
Sure. MedLife Discoveries, which they're based out of Canada, they're in the process of developing a synthetic plasmalogen, for lack of a better term, that's going to help the kids, where they're going to be able to take this and hopefully replace the plasmalogens that they are lacking. They are close to doing it with having the kids start taking the supplement. It's not a supplement, it's a medicine.
FDA approved.
An FDA approved medicine, where they've already done adults trials, and that all went very well. They're well beyond the primate and the mouse and all those studies. They're well beyond that. So they're getting very close, and hopefully in the next couple of months we'll be able to start, having the kids take this, and it'll be a very controlled program. The kids will be essentially, each child, whoever's going through it, will spend the first week in a hospital just for purely observation. And then after they do that, it'll be able to be given at home with frequent blood tests and some other things, just to monitor how well the plasmalogens are absorbing into the system.
It's hope and it's tangible progress, isn't it, Dougie?
Yes,
hope, but
absolutely.
tangible progress.
Absolutely. The biggest hurdle is the getting the plasmalogens into the brain, and that's really the key. But they're seeing that it is moving through the other vital organs, and it is working in that regard, that it is going to those levels, and the levels are being maintained. And this isn't a one and done either. This will be like a continuous treatment.
Well, and there was something, I'll let Doug read it. Sean Ritchie, who's like one of the MedLife Discovery, he just posted, with it being RCDP Awareness Day, he had a post today. I'm gonna let him read it because I'm like, and it says this was exciting news.
Today is our RCDP Awareness Day. This is very rare. Very rare pediatric disease. I've been working on a treatment for, along with the MedLife Discoveries team, for nearly 7 years. Rhizokids International, the countdown is on. Our IND application to the FDA for the first ever RCDP drug is tentatively slated for the end of June. More updates to come in Alabama in July. So the study's moving forward with the FDA, and it's the kids that are in it, and the count changes. I believe there's probably, I think, 12 or 13 kids that have been in the natural history study. They go to Delaware twice a year, and they do basically some basic tests, EEGs, blood work. They do go through a physical therapy type study to see their flexibility, and all those kids that are in that study are going to be able to get the plasmalogens.
DEXA scan, pulmonary function test. Like, we've been in it, and we've been going back and forth with Jake and Jordyn to Delaware for over 5 years at least, or longer. And what they've been doing is they've been getting a baseline, and they'll be able to look back once the kids do start the FDA approved drug for the plasmalogens, and they'll be able to, kind of track it and see with the plasmalogens if the numbers are going up, and that's what we want them to do. The numbers need to go up.
Mindy, early on in this interview, you said, I'm going to let Doug talk because he's basically a doctor. Look, you both are. You both have been learning, and I think it's perfect. Again, Grandma Cindy, when you hear this, what is all of this for you? All of this talk about hope and the research, the tangible progress that's being made.
It's exciting. It's scary. I hope that this does help all of these kids with this condition. And I just hope it comes in time for Lakelynn.
I mean, look at her.
And if it doesn't, I just hope it helps other kids. She's a sweet, sweet baby.
Precious. And I love, Graham, I love how genuine and authentic you are right now in sharing your heart. I thank you. I thank you, because for anyone who's listening, here's what I say, you know, we say we're better together, and together we can, together we will. But really, Graham, you're going to be leaning into this family. And I know one very well who I love like my own flesh and blood, that are going to fill you with the hope that you need in those moments, and the practical things, the very practical things that you're going to need to navigate. For this sweet baby right here, I can't wait to meet her, little Lakelynn. God bless her, 5 months old.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I know you came on here kind of last minute. I'm so grateful for that, that you were able to join us here. And the whole point, besides hope and research, is spreading awareness. So I hope that we've done just that. Is there anything else that, as I keep an eye on the time, that anyone wants to add before we wrap up?
I want to add for Cindy, you know, don't feel like you're alone ever.
Thank you. It's still scary. It's overwhelming for my daughter. And I was just going to add too, my daughter Sierra has had to quit her job to take.
There's a great network of mothers and fathers out there that show support, and you know, can give fantastic ideas on how to, you know, work with the doctors, work with the social network, work with, you know, the state and county and cities, and, you know, help you out in that regard. You know, don't feel there's an emotional burden and a financial burden tied to it. You know, there are ways to get that support. You know, reaching out to the Rhizokid family, I call them. You know, they're a tremendous help out there.
Well, the thing is, I don't think people realize is that taking care of a special needs baby is overwhelming, but that's not the only thing. It's, you know, fighting with the insurance companies to pay for medicine or treatment, dealing with the day nurses to make sure my daughter can work, because the bills don't stop. And, you know, refilling all of her medications. And when the nurse does call out during the day, then Sierra has to miss work. And I think that's one thing that I don't think people realize that don't have special needs baby, is everything else that's overwhelming besides taking care of a special needs with feedings and giving them medicines and hospital stays and all that. It's all the other things that are, again, overwhelming that people don't think about. And I don't know how my daughter Sierra's been able to work and take care of Lakelynn and do everything. She has a lot of support, but still, I'm in awe. And so, yeah.
And she has 2 other kids too. So not just Lakelynn, she's got 2 other amazing kids that,
Absolutely. She has Aubrey, who's 5, and Brantley, who's 7. And I know you had mentioned the kids, you know, stay inside, and I think that's absolutely amazing. It's hard because with Sierra, she's got Aubrey's in dance, Brantley's in baseball, school activities and other activities, and she has to take Brantley and Aubrey and Lakelynn all to different things. And she, like I said, she does have support. I help with Brantley and Aubrey, and but there's still sometimes she has to take Lakelynn to the store or whatever. And she has 3 kids in tow if I'm at work, but she does amazing just making sure Lakelynn is taken care of and has everything she needs. The same with Aubrey and Brantley, making sure they're taken care of. And to see Aubrey and Brantley with Lakelynn, kissing her and touching her, and they call her Girly Pop. That's Lakelynn is their Girly Pop. So yeah, they're just amazing kids. And yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to candy coat it, Cindy. It doesn't get, I can't say it gets easier, because we have been right now, it's a constant, we're fighting for new car seats for the kids, and we've had them since 2018. So we have to I've had like all these different people come, and we've had to figure out what's best for them because of seating. I just had them at the doctor's office, because you can't just order it. I have to have a letter from a PT describing exactly everything they need. I had to go to our orthopedic doctor, and she had to write scripts for all that. We get Pulmazine for their breathing for the kids, and I'm fighting right now. Our pulmonary doctor's fighting, which we've had Pulmazine for years that had helped the kids stay out of the hospital, and I've been back and forth, and so is my pulmonary doctor, because Medicaid is turning it down, something we've had for years and years. So it's a constant fight. And all I can say is they don't have a voice. So you have to be their voice, and you have to just advocate and fight for them. And it sounds like your daughter's doing a great job, and you are too.
There's
Thank you
we
for
lost
saying that.
her.
She's
Okay.
Sierra's an amazing, and 27 with 2 kids and a special little Lakelynn, and she's a rock star.
Yeah, and for all of these reasons is why it's so important. We want to let our Ohio friends know, Mindy, the audio is starting to break up, and we need to keep an eye on the time, but we want to make sure. So this is a fun event, and it's starting with a purpose. It's coming up October 4th. You want to tell our Ohio friends about it? Here, I'll pull this up.
Sure. This is our 12th fundraiser, and it's a Roaring for the Rhizokids. We always do a different theme. It's our Roaring 20s. And it's going to be a fun time. We're selling tickets. We're doing corporate sponsorships now. We're looking for baskets, gift cards, anything anybody can help provide to make it a great event. We appreciate it. Every little bit counts. With us being not even just an orphan disease, there's not a lot of people raising money for research. Most of the families, like Cindy's family, they have like babies, and they're just trying to keep them out of the hospital and just keeping their family afloat. So this is something we've done. Rhizokids Ohio, we've raised research funds for many years for research, and this is why we continue to do it. But it's Saturday, October 4th. It's in Berea. And if you go to rhizokidsohio.com, our website, it's updated. We're super excited about it. And it gives all the information. There's different forms you can fill out. You can, even if Cindy, if I know you guys are in Iowa, and if you guys can't make it to the fundraiser to help out, you could always buy a horse and name a horse and have like Lakelynn's horse in the race. And it's just a fun event. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the RHIZO families will donate gift cards, and we do like a RHIZO gift card tree to help raise funds too.
You're buying into hope. So
yes.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to do this.
Thank
Grandma
you,
Cindy.
Dawn, for doing this for us.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you.
Always supporting us.
No, 100%, always. And Grandma Cindy, I can't wait to meet you in person someday. I see your heart and soul from here, and loving baby Lakelynn as well. And Sierra, just send our love. I hope you feel it. I hope you feel it tangibly, right? Mindy and Doug, like a hug. I hope you feel it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. God bless y'all. Thanks again for
God
your time.
bless you. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's good to just dance.
You've been listening to Dawn Kendrick's The Good Stuff Family Podcast. If you found inspiration here, would you click subscribe, follow, share? as we grow our Good Stuff family tree? Check out thegoodstufffamily.com for links to all our social media platforms and for how you or your business could sponsor a story. The Good Stuff Family, reaching and touching hearts around the world by weaving families together one story at a time. On your mark, get set, let's go.
Well, I gotta suggest ya. Sometimes it's good, so come along,